joining us in studio, a guest to the Man Cave, the Fox insider, also senior writer for FoxSports.com, and working for the NFL Network for the draft, and working the phones as we speak.
And Fox Sports Radio for the draft, doing the whole first round for them.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, that's that's probably my favorite thing I do all year.
Because you get to talk more than you do when you're on TV. You get these little clips where you go, all right, you got 3 minutes,
right.
Jay, go.
No, like 3 seconds, Jay, go, right.
Yeah.
Which is good, though. I cram a lot. That's why I talk so fast.
If you were going to give me the 2 best teams to talk to where you think you're going to get correct information.
For me?
This right now.
You know what? For me, there's a lot of teams because here's the deal. I don't do the mock draft.
Now, I mentioned that you told me this last night. Yeah. I wanted you to explain to the audience why.
I don't want a lot of the fans. If a team says to me, Glaze, this is what we're going to do, but you can't use it. I don't want a lot of the fans. I don't want to say, okay, great. Well, then let me put this team in there. I do use it on draft day. So last year heading into it, I think I had the first 7 picks about an hour or so beforehand, which was great. And that's great for the fans. I'm able to tell you, bam. But and it's not just me. Every insider kind of has to go through this. But I just decided a couple of years ago, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to willingly lie to the fans. If you get information and if something's off the record, it's off the record. That's all there is to it. So I started doing more of who should go where, who I believe should go this place. Or if I was them, I would select this player, but not the mocks anymore.
Well, let me ask you about Ryan Tannehill. He was there last night, and where he should go is where?
I think he should go to Miami.
Where will he go?
I think it's 50-50 right now in Miami there. I think it's 50-50.
Oh, so Miami's not sold. If he's there for Miami at 8, you think they're not sold on?
Depends who else is there. That's the only thing. And here's the funny thing. Again, it's paralysis by overanalysis. There are guys who are so – you could be totally in love with somebody all the way up until tomorrow, and they'll pull off you tomorrow. They just start – it is incredible. I'll never forget the Cowboys years ago. In fact, it was Jeff Ireland's first draft with Dallas, and he was set on taking Sean Merriman was it the 12th pick or whatever it was. He was set on taking Sean Merriman the whole time, and Saturday morning, boom, pulls off, goes to DeMarcus Ware, which is a pretty damn good pick. Turns out to be pretty good. But, he pulled off like 6 hours before the draft. He got different information. He looked over it. He analyzed some more, and I'm like, what the hell could you have possibly done in the last 6 hours that you didn't do in the last 6 months? And that's how it is, though. It's these guys really, they almost, in that case, he certainly didn't fool himself. He made the right move. But these guys, they still don't know. Half the teams, I'm talking all these teams, they honestly don't know what the hell they're going to do.
But you have Minnesota, and that's where the draft can change.
Yeah, because they're looking to trade out. I think have they taken out ad space on your show?
No, not yet.
To let everybody know that the pick is for sale?
But you have Khalil there, but that's not the need.
Oh, it's a need.
Not like defensive.
Not like Claiborne.
Yeah.
Right.
Claiborne makes more sense because you're going to go against wide receivers in your own division.
Well, if they actually get a decent corner there, Jared Allen may have 30 sacks next year. They could actually prevent somebody from catching the ball.
Would you take Claiborne or Khalil if you're Minnesota?
If I'm Minnesota?
Yeah.
Oh, Claiborne.
Who will
I love Claiborne, but I'm not a scout. So
who will they take?
I don't think they know. I really don't think they know, especially if they could trade out. I think they're just going to decide to go, we trade out, we dump out, maybe somebody else makes the choice for us. But it's smart for them to move down a few spots.
And then you have Cleveland, and talking to Trent Richardson about it, I said it makes sense for you to go there. And he said, he goes, I'll go wherever I want to go. He's saying all the right things. But you could tell you're the face of that franchise.
Oh, absolutely.
And it makes sense. But I don't know if here's the Browns who do need a lot of things.
Right. And here's what you have to do for some of these teams. You have to say to yourself, I want to come out with my first 2 or 3 picks with these positions. Then you have to look at it and go, okay, is there better value? What position is there better value in down
later,
the line?
Yeah.
And then we'll take the opposite early. So let's say you have Trent Richardson, you have Justin Blackman, you have Claiborne, whoever it is. You have these guys really highly rated. And you may say, okay, we have one guy more highly rated than the other, but later on, there's bad value at that other position. So it will sway you off your value.
What would kill a draft pick? What information that would come out? What rumor tonight or tomorrow would drop?
Nothing. You know.
I mean, is marijuana still?
No, they don't.
That won't kill you.
No, that doesn't kill you.
Steroids?
Not really. That doesn't hurt you. But none of the guys tested positive for steroids. There's a couple weed guys. I don't think. You know what? What would kill you at this point? I don't think. I mean, if you walked into your meeting with your potential new coach and MF'd him up and down, that may hurt you a little bit. You know, but again, it's funny because you have guys and you talk to people. You know, on the way up here, and our guys from Fox will tell you, I'm on the phone with a million people, and talk about one guy, and this one particular player, one team said, "Oh, dude, we couldn't stand him. I mean, we couldn't stand him." And then I talked to another team saying, "Man, we love this guy. What a great kid." And the other team, I mean, literally, it was so off the board. This draft's a very interesting draft because I think the value for this draft is 15 to 45. That's the value. All the players are kind of the same from 15 to 45. There's not, you know, everybody wants a pass rusher. Last year, you knew Von Miller. Bam. Terrific. You had two other guys in Bowers and Quinn who you had no questions about if they could play, but you had medical. Here, this year, there is no consensus, not even close to a consensus, on rush passers, outside linebackers, rush ends, rush defensive linemen. It's incredible how I don't remember it ever being this inconsistent where teams are all over the board.
He's Jay Glazer from Fox Sports, be working with the NFL Network with their draft coverage, joining us in studio.
And Fox Sports Radio.
And Fox Sports Radio covering the draft.
Eat fresh.
Now, when you walked in, did you really throw in a Subway plug?
I did.
You're better than that.
Yeah,
You're better than that.
Not really.
When you walked in, you said I could be breaking.
Well, let's not do it yet. I don't want to tip anybody. Let's wait till it goes up. Let's not even say the subject because then you're going to tip off other people.
No, I said you could be breaking news.
I may.
In the next half hour?
I could.
How big would it be?
No, it's a good note.
Okay.
A good note.
All right. You also...
Good draft note.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to tell me, though... I got to give this audience something. They're like little birds, and I bring back worms for them, and we feed them.
Why are you guys eyeing me over there right now?
Well, they don't trust you.
What's going on over here?
Well,
what did you say before I got in here?
Because you go you go all UFC on people,
I'm a nice, peaceful Jewish boy from Jersey.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
I never bother anybody. I never met. We're at the Super Bowl. You sick these guys right on me. I come in there, and next thing I know, you got John Jones and Rashad Evans going after me.
You choked out Paulie.
He had it coming.
Well, okay, I agree. But, yeah, whenever you come in, I always say, don't say anything to Glazer. Don't act like you know UFC. Don't go Bones Jones on him, right?
He is unbelievable.
Is he the best?
Oh, he's the best. He's the best that I've seen.
Is he better than Liddell in his prime?
Yeah, I think he is because he's more complete. Chuck is a great knockout puncher, obviously, and Chuck was actually a great wrestler, but he uses wrestling to stand. But Bones, he doesn't make any sense. And what I mean by that, usually if you throw a combo, you know how to counter that, and you're going to come back with another combo, and at least this guy's he's going to counter with that. And everybody plays this game of chess
a pattern
in the cage.
Yeah.
He plays with a completely different set of chess pieces. He got a different chessboard than everybody else.
All right, when we come back,
his brother, by the way, is starting to climb up a lot. Chandler Jones.
Yeah,
he's climbing up the ladder quite a bit.
You know who loves him? Mayock.
He should.
Mayock has been on that bandwagon before anybody else.
It's an amazing story.
There's a lot of guys who just follow everybody else. Like somebody says something about somebody, then everybody else.
Yeah, they jump on.
They're lazy.
Yeah. Everybody jumps on. It's definitely a copycat system here. No
All right, we'll talk to Jay. He may have some breaking news for us. I don't want to say the topic.
Yeah, I don't know if it's big enough for you because you're.
All right.
This is the mecca.
All right,
and radio.
And we can also talk about the. I guess the requirement, or what are you allowed to do breaking news on draft night? Because don't we have the NFL Network and
that's
ESPN?
The thing. Yeah, I think.
No, hold on. It's called a tease, Jay.
I don't. Oh.
It's got a tease. Eat fresh, okay?
Eat fresh, baby.
Yeah. So when we
Paul,
come back,
you looking at me again?
Breaking news. Now, there's supposed to be this truce with NFL Network and ESPN on showing green room guys on the phone, but let's say you learn. Who's going to be the number 3 pick?
I don't know the rules yet because I haven't been told, but I just asked Fox Sports Radio because usually it's my job. I'm a walking spoiler alert. You know, and I have a lot of people go, hey, I'm trying to listen to the draft, and all of a sudden you're telling me who's 2 picks ahead and 3 picks ahead, and the guys at Fox love it. So I'll continue to do it. I think that's okay. I don't know if we're under the same thing. For NFL Network, I'm doing 4 to 6. So I'm on a couple hours before. I'm as an analyst. I'm not an insider. I'm just an analyst at the desk. So I'm not there to break
But
news.
is this a show or is this a news event?
I think it's both.
But can you have both?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think they're more on show than they are on information because they're telling you mute the information as a football.
No, they're telling you mute the tipping of the pick. They're not telling you to mute the information. You still want all the information out there. I mean, my job to give as much information as possible. I don't really know.
But you
what
could
my
go on the
boundaries are yet.
NFL Network tomorrow night and probably spoil a good portion of the coverage.
Would you like that?
Yes.
Okay.
But that's your job.
I know. I agree with you.
I don't want to wait 15 minutes because it gets silly after a while. If the Colts spend 14 minutes and 58 seconds and then they go.
Obviously, we know that.
Yeah.
We know the first 2 picks.
Yeah. But if you know, let's say they've just announced Andrew Luck and you find out what the Vikings are going to do. But you're not allowed to say if you were on the NFL Network.
I don't know yet.
But you couldn't do it on the NFL Network.
I don't think I can act like I have learned. Like last year I came on, I think I had the first 7 picks about, an hour and a half beforehand.
Yeah, I know.
But it was kind of glossed over. But it was like if there's a big trade, obviously I had the Julio Jones trade last year earlier in the morning. That's fine. And I think that's fine to say, yes, this trade's going to happen and this is why they're moving up for Julio Jones. Bam. I don't really know. I don't know. I don't know.
You better
rules.
find out.
But I don't think I think more than anything, they don't want them, showing the pick on the phone with somebody before Roger comes up there.
And I agree with that.
Yeah, I could see that. But I don't know what our limitations are. And here's the bottom line. Our job is to make the draft more entertaining. And if that makes it more entertaining, I think the league will love it.